Stand by, you most worthy of citizens, to hear the words of her most serene, the most diabolical, the magnificent tyrant Jones Lewis, Ph.D. first of her line, and not ever to be the last. The scourge of Naxos, slayer of the Nemean hippogriff, arbiter of academic fates. Know, fear, and rejoice before your tyrant.
Beloved citizens, friends, inhabitants of the island of Thasos, which, as you all know, is located in the north of the Aegean, here, just outside the inlet of the Bosporus and Dardanelles Straits leading into the wealthy trade waters of the Black Sea, and out into the Aegean and beyond. We, as a wealthy, progressive, forward-looking island nation, have invested in the newest hot trend of the 5th century BCE, the public physician, whom we have hired for these past few years to oversee our people in their times of distress and illness. In accordance with our forward-looking approach to public health, we have hired a Cohen from the island of Kos, Dr. Agathon, a rationalizing Hippocratic-style physician, which means that we are so much cooler than the other tyrannies, which is why you should be glad to live under me, your tyrant. And because I am a progressive tyrant, I would like to know what you have to say about our doctor's performance review, which he has written for you in this text. Minion, the text. If you turn to page 87, you will find Epidemics Book 1 and Book 3 for your review. Book 2 is unimportant. I will read that myself. It's private. But Book 1 and Book 3, I want to know what you think. And therefore I have convened you, the 6 committees representing the various factions of our island population, for comment and review as we decide whether or not we wish to continue Dr. Agathon's employment on our fair island, or if we want to hire someone else, or if we want to do something else entirely. After you have given me your opinions in the Google Doc provided for you, with page numbers and citations so I know what you're talking about, then your beloved serene tyrant will make her own dang decision, which you will all live with gratefully. Because, really, where else are you going to move to? Athens? Tethys, no. Sorry, the royal cat is not helping. Alright, come here, royal cat. So a few comments about who you are and what you might want to think about as you proceed in this fact-finding mission that I have enjoined upon you. As you gaze upon the scenic harbor of Thasos laid before you, isn't it beautiful? Our home is amazing. A few words to those of you I have convened for comment. Ladies of Thasos, unlike Athens, we care about what you think. Therefore, I would like you to look over Dr. Agathon's reports, both his general demographic information, which he has given you in the beginning of his epidemics, and on the specific cases that he's given for you to review. And tell me how you think he has done as regards women's health and those of your children. And I suppose you have opinions about men too, but really I'm interested in how he's performing, especially as a gynecologist, because I have questions. Similarly, elders of Thasos, your tax dollars are very important to us, and I care deeply about what you think, not in small part because you can overthrow me at any time, but you shouldn't because I paid for Dr. Agathon. So what do you think of Dr. Agathon's performance? Has he paid sufficient attention to your concerns, your comments? Has he exposed the reputation of your wives and daughters by mentioning their names in his records? Has he failed to show sufficient deference to you when you're on your deathbeds? Would you rather he hadn't mentioned what your last bowel movement looked like? Review the records and let me know whether you are pleased with this doctor's performance. Similarly, tradesfolk. I know that you may not have the most wealth, but it's your hands that build our houses and build our ships and make our trade viable so that we can continue to bring in a great deal of wealth, which your beloved tyrant will, of course, distribute to you in the form of perks like Dr. Agathon. Was your money well spent? Do you feel like your hard worked for coins, paid in taxes, are worthy of Dr. Agathon's performance? Or would you like to go in another direction? Look over the records and tell me what you think. Similarly, priests and priestesses, especially those of Apollo and Artemis. Did Dr. Agathon respect your authority when it comes to interpreting the signs from the gods that are delivered to us in the form of disease and illness? Did he offer sufficient prayers? Did he stay in his lane? Or do you feel that your territory is being impinged on? Review his records and let me know if you see a conflict between the duty we owe to the gods above and the temporal mortal duties that we owe as human beings one to another. Similarly, military men of Thassos. You've spent most of the year abroad, and I'm glad you happened to be in harbor this week to comment on this issue. I know many of you have come back to houses missing a few members, some of you to houses with members who have recovered from illness. And although Dr. Agathon cannot go with you on the triremes to treat you in battle and out, Dr. Agathon has looked after your families when you were not here. Are you pleased with his success rate? Do you think he could have done better? How do you feel reading the records of your family members' last hours? I want to know. Please give me page numbers. And then finally, because, as I've mentioned, Thassos is a progressive state where we care about all of our citizens, even the ones who don't own property and live on the streets. How do you guys feel that Dr. Agathon did? Did he treat you with the same amount of respect that he treated freeborn and wealthy citizens of Thassos? Did he spend time with you? Did he take your diseases seriously? Did he give you proper attention and respect? I want to know. When you're looking through the records, things you might want to pay attention to are, where did the patient live? Was it in a house? Was it not in a house? Does that make a difference in the treatment outcome, in the way the doctor's writing about this person? Do you notice any patterns of discrimination between yourselves and the sons of wealthy households? Review and give me feedback. I know that many of you have hard lives and don't necessarily see perks coming in to citizens who are able to pay more taxes, but I want to do better by you. I care because I am a great tyrant. So, sit down with the reading, enjoy reviewing Dr. Agathon's records, let me know what you think, and I will watch your Google document for your final thoughts. Take care, be well, keep the faith.